Shalom, first and foremost, and all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Alright, double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone, who teach 100% true doctrine of the Scriptures. And shalom to the elect. Alright, the elect of the nation of Israel. Because ain't no heathens part of the elect, okay? This is a World War III update. Real quick. The Spirit of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai. What we're seeing is, the 10 horns and 7 heads turn against the great whore. Okay? Great whore being America. And the Most High put this Donald Trump guy in here for a reason. Look at this proud devil, man. The Most High put this guy in here to kick off World War III and to push the chip. Alright? Because this guy, when he was campaigning, everybody was putting him on blast because he had no political experience and he came off as a pompous jackass. And what he's doing is he's shattering the alliances that America has with its allies. Primarily NATO. Alright? I'm going to read this is from Yahoo News. It's all over the internet, though. Donald Trump acted like a drunk tourist on Europe trip that led Angela Merkel to proclaim end of U.S. alliance. Rachel Revez, The Independent, May 29, 2017. Donald Trump was like a drunk tourist on his first trip abroad, which saw awkward handshakes with the French president. I mean, you brothers should look up some videos on this stuff, man. He was acting like a damn weirdo, doing all these weird handshakes, completely ignoring handshakes with certain world leaders, you know? That's not how world leaders do things, okay? Shoving, which saw awkward handshakes with the French president, shoving the Prime Minister of Montenegro, and causing German Chancellor Angela Merkel to declare the end of the U.S. alliance with Europe. This is the big part. Okay? A U.S. State Department official blasted the arrogance of the president as he flew from Saudi Arabia and Israel to Europe last week. When it comes to this diplomacy, President Trump is a drunk tourist, the unnamed official told the Daily Beast. Loud and tacky, shoving his way around the dance floor, he steps on others without realizing it. It's ineffectual. Most concerning was Mr. Trump's vow to make a final decision on the Paris Climate Change Agreement next week, a measure which 195 nations have already agreed upon before his election. Alright, so he's going against the grain on a lot of things. He was accused of undermining the international diplomacy when he took a tougher stance on the G7 than on Saudi Arabia, where he made no mention of human rights violations in Yemen and was feted with lavish ceremonies or received the highest civilian honor. At a ceremony to celebrate NATO member nations' strength after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, Mr. Trump said Germany was bad, very bad, for its trade surplus, and told off the 28 countries for not paying what they should be paying. You know, meaning fitting the bill for NATO. He also refused to commit to upholding Article 5 of the NATO Treaty. Alright? Basically, America's putting all their alliances and relationships in tatters, man. Because America was the one that founded NATO. as a way to form an alliance against the Russians, meaning that if the Russians attacked, that all these other countries would attack Russia. Okay? It did not utter the words, all for one for all. Mr. Trump flew back to the U.S. with a $100 billion arms deal with Saudi Arabia and tweeted, "Just returned from Europe. Trip was a great success for America. Hard work, but big results." which ended up being the exact opposite. And it's a beautiful thing, man. You know? His trip led French leader Emmanuel Macron, with whom Mr. Trump was seen gripping hands and gritting teeth, to announce that the handshake with the president was not innocent. Miss Merkel declared to a crowd in Bavaria that Europe's ability to rely on the U.S. was over to a certain extent. "This is what I have experienced in the last few days. Europe really must take our fate into our own hands," Ms. Merkel added. So you're seeing a separation of Europe and America, okay, on the political, on a political front, because they've come together for a long time to push that world order, all right? Because that's the one thing that they have in common, that new world order. He also appeared to push aside Montenegro Prime Minister Duško Marković to stand at the front of a group of NATO leaders. Mr. Marković said the move was inoffensive. The signaling of the potential end of the U.S.-German alliance could be described as good news for Russia, which has so far been restrained by NATO from provoking further aggressions in other countries like those in Crimea. Alright. But one of the things to note is that U.S. and German alliances have been shaky the past couple of years. There have been a lot of people predicting that Germany was going to side with Russia in World War III. And that's looking like that's what's going to happen. All right. I mean, myself personally, I kind of felt it, the spirit that Germany was going to be on Russia's side in World War III. Okay. This is Revelation 47 and 8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly. It's dwelling carelessly, man. These people in America, they dwell completely carelessly. All right, the pride of these American people, man. They think that America's untouchable, and that everybody else should just do whatever the hell America says, man. And that's the attitude that Donald Trump had on that trip. That says, "In thine heart I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children." And that's the attitude of Donald Trump, okay? Because he's the current leader of America, and this whole Isaiah chapter 47 is talking about America, all right? Daughter of the Chaldeans, okay? "But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries." And we know that America is known for its sorceries and witchcrafts, okay? America leads the world when it comes to that. You have that Hollywood magic, And for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And that's why these American people are so brainwashed, man, because of all the witchcraft and sorcery that puts a sleep on the people, man. You know? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Alright? Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. Because America's acting like nobody else matters, man. You know? Here it is, you got this Trump guy calling out Germany and calling out all these NATO countries. Okay, just throwing shots at everybody. You know? Like a jackass. He's making America look like a jackass to the rest of the world. Alright? Zephaniah 2 and 15, this is the rejoicing city that dwelt carelessly, that said in her heart, I am, and there is none beside me. Basically, that's what Donald Trump is saying, man. You know? He's basically the new guy on the block, and he's going to the rest of these world leaders. Hang on. Going to the rest of these world leaders, these 28 NATO nations, and he's basically saying that you know, I'm going to start telling you what to do, and that you should be doing this and that. Okay? How is she become a desolation? Because all these allied countries are going to turn on America. We're going to get that scripture. A place for beasts to lie down in. Everyone that passeth by her shall hiss and wag his hand. Okay, because it's all that, because that's that's all it's going to be here is desert creatures and so on and so forth, and unclean beasts. And in the kingdom of heaven, once America is destroyed by nuclear fire, all right, it's going to be an example to the rest of the world how not to live. Okay? This is the rejoicing city that dwelt carelessly. America is in a time of rejoicing. Even though there's all kinds of crazy shit going on in America. There's mass shootings almost every day. The economy's falling apart, but these people are still in the party spirit, man. And it's dwelling carelessly. Okay? Because it's acting with great pride compared to the rest of the world. Alright? Donald Trump isn't just acting like the U.S. president. He's acting like he's in charge of everything. And it's pissing these other nations off. But at the end of the day, he's just a tool from the elites, man. You know? He just does what they tell him to. Matthew 12 and 25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And that's supposed to be one kingdom, okay? The great whore on the beast, man. You know? And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. In fact, alright. So we read this, okay, they're all it's all one house. Okay, one kingdom. Okay? Beast with 7 heads and 10 horns is NATO. Okay? Here's the 7 heads. Alright? And it lists the 10 horns right here. Okay? And then here's America, the great whore, Revelation 17 and 1. Okay? The 10 horns are going to turn on America. This is all supposed to be one kingdom. Because America is what's really controlling this beast. But everything's going to lash out at this whore, man. Burn it with fire. Matthew 12:26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And that's an action that is going on here. We're seeing America being cast out of its alliance with NATO and Europe, certain European countries. And America is casting out other nations from its alliance. Causing what? Division. This is Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, right here, Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Ireland, England, West Germany. These shall hate the whore. Just saw Germany, okay? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Meaning what? They're going to turn on it. They're going to turn against it. They'll turn against his whore, riding the beast, okay? And how are they going to make it desolate and burn her with fire? Through nuclear missiles. But with that, I hope you, brothers and sisters, were edified. Till next time, shalom. Keep pushing, you know. This is just the beginning of this, you know.